From John Blatch Memorial Soccer Complex in Temecula, California, this is the State Cup 2008. Hello again, everybody. I'm Greg Porter for George Landman Video Sports Productions. This match, the championship one, will feature Corona United and the Santa Monica Scorpions. Let's get the lineup first for the Santa Monica Scorpions. Of course, every game that the Santa Monica Scorpions are playing, and even all the way to the championship match, they have their 12th man, Andrew Sikora, with them, who died earlier this year. Their keeper is going to be Alex Kovacs. Number 2 at fullback is Jack Tarakian. Number 3 at center mid is Juan Magana. Number 4 at midfield is Jesus Betancourt. Number 5 at left fullback is Eric Hernandez. And we almost had the starting of the game here. In light blue is which team?
Corona United.
This one?
Corona United.
Okay, thank you. Okay, going from right to left is the Scorpions, and Corona United going from left to right. Let's get back to that lineup for you. Eric Hernandez is number 5 at left fullback. Number 6 at left outside halfback is Omar Ciordia. Number 7 at center mid is Luis Zavalla. Number 9 at forward or mid is Jose Rodas. Number 10 at outside, and let's see, do we have a goal or is it an offsides call? It's an offsides call, so it is not a goal. Quick action here. Try to get the rest of the lineup. Number 10 outside right wing is Nico De La Rosa. Number 11 is fullback Chris De La Rosa. Number 12 at sweeper is Charlie Paris. Number 22 at forward is Rory Mignogno. Number 23 is halfback or mid is David Silva. And number 91 at mid is Eddie Delgado. And keeper for Corona United in the light blue and the white shorts is Pablo Gonzalez. Number 2 is Sean West. Number 3, Michael Chavez. Number 4 is Essa Bahu. Number 5 is Bryce Matias. 6 is Sammy Gilbert. 8 is Chris Clements. 9 is Matt Robinson. 10 is Nico Weissing. Number 11 is Kyle Cochran. Number 13 is Tony Alanis. 14, Brad Brooks. 15, Zach Metcalf. 16, John Meza. 18 is Mike Kinnison. 19 is Irvin Lomeli. And number 20 is Adrian Gallinari. From their own defensive half, the Santa Monica Scorpions. And they will have a free kick. Jose Rodas going to Cal State Dominguez. Rodas into the 18-yard box.
There you go, there you go.
12 of the 18 players for Santa Monica United have been scouted, and college coach knows all about them. And to the outside now on the quick rush by Corona United, and it goes outside near touchline. So it'll be a throw-in, Corona United. Into the 18-yard box, and quickly the nice save by Kovacs. Alex Kovacs, the keeper, going to go to either Yale or Harvard. Still trying to figure out which one he'll go, but it's an Ivy League school. It's amazing. I don't see too many people going to the Ivy League schools in general. But if you're smart enough to be able to be accepted, and Alex is one of those, he's got a choice there. Just the beginning of the match, 45-minute halves. Kovacs from his own defensive half, driving it up to midfield off of a bounce. Trying to get his teammate that time, Eddie Delgado, to run onto it. However, now they have Charlie Paris. Paris want to work it out to the wide. He was looking for Nico De La Rosa. And as they bring it in, it's toward the keeper, and Pablo Gonzalez has it. And Gonzalez will drive it downfield. Looking for somebody to run onto it, and it's Michael Chavez. But Chavez can't proceed any further as Charlie Paris cuts him off there in the space. Sends it way out of play. 0-0 here in the first half of action. The John Blatch Memorial Soccer Complex in Temecula. A little bit warmer early on in the morning time than it was yesterday. A lot more cloudier today. You got more of a sun content. And so we're into the 70s. Going to be a throw-in from their own half of the field. The Scorpions, however, winning it is United, and it doesn't go any further that time. It's getting high up in the air. Defender, and
Keep doing it, keep doing it.
That one will go past the near post as a goal kick now. Kovacs driving it down the field. Gonzalez now going to settle it and push it down to central. Intercepted. Santa Monica United with Juan Magana. Magana up in the air, and that one a little bit high of the crossbar. Taking it right outside the 18-yard box. He of the yellow cleats. And now to get it restarted from their own half of the field down to central. And Corona United with it now.
Control this, bro, come on.
Scorpions out of Group A had 2 shutouts. They scored 6 goals and allowed 5, had 6 points, and 1 red card. On the other side of the ledger, Corona United had 9 points. They were 3-3, 3 goals and 3 allowed with 2 red cards. And you see, as you've heard us do many youngers, you don't see the red cards, but when they get about 14 years of age or older, you start seeing it. Here's Magana, his service to the wide, and on the runner that time. Couldn't get Nico De La Rosa to hold on to it. Nico going to San Francisco State. And the outside right winger. Pablo Gonzalez, and his pass was intercepted, and then now into the box, and Corona United stiffening up, trying to keep it from going in the back of the net, and here's a blast, and they're still able to intercept it. David Silva, who's undecided, took a blast, but that time the defenders in the deep back able to get to that soccer ball and blast it out of there. Nice standing tall in that 18-yard box.
Keep it up, go!
And the Scorpions now on the attack again, but Corona United able to drive that ball out of play. Ball into the 18-yard box now, but quickly pushed upfield, but on it now is Zavala, Luis Zavala weaving his way inside and then outside, finds Magana. Magana's got a little bit of space. Magana accelerates around 2 players, and he's got his teammate, but he can't finish in Delgado. Delgado a little bit too high. Delgado right down the throat, nobody marking him, and he just could not collect it the way he wanted to and put it in the back of the net. He went way too high with it. But a nice run that time by Magana. Magana, the junior at Santa Monica High School, and that high school won the CIF title last year in their Division 4. And here's Magana again, and it's taken away at the last moment. Dispossessed just at the mouth of the 6-yard box. Great play by United. Bryce Matias trying to make a move, but they defend him well, and back the other way now is Zavala. Zavala can't continue on with it. Couldn't settle it down that time, so on the near side, the baby blue and white on the move. Getting a little bit more chippier as the game goes on now. And trying to do something that time. And falling down there was David Silva. Silva getting a grass burn on that one. The throw in off the foot of Rodas. And Eric Hernandez now on the far side trying to get a teammate to run onto it. And he is knocked down. It'll be a free kick. Free kick on the outside of your picture. Far side. 0-0 the score. Santa Monica Scorpions and Corona United. And it's boys under 18 state Open Cup final. And it goes out of play. They couldn't do anything with it on that set piece. So they're going to try it again. Luis Zavala. Zavala getting it in to Rodas. Rodas service into the box and a save by Gonzalez. Gonzalez measured that one up well and slingshots it down to midfield. Bahu. Over to Chavez, but Chavez can't continue on as he was dispossessed that time by David Silva and company. And as they try to go up the field, Kyle Cochran was designing things for his defenders. And that ball goes out of play, so it's going to be a throw-in, lastly off of Corona United. And you're going to have a substitution now for the Scorpions. Coming into the contest now, Chris De La Rosa. Chris and Nico related. Into the 18-yard box. The Scorpions now running onto it is Eddie Delgado. Delgado tries to make another acceleration move around the defender, and they're able to rout him off on the near side and not allow him to go any further. And they have a free kick to go with it. As De La Rosa a little bit too much with the body that time.
Come on, guys.
David Silva. A little pass out to the wide, but Magana could not control it. And so now throwing it in that time was Bahu. Bahu all the way down to Chavez. And it's blocked at the last moment at the mouth of the 6-yard box. Nice job that time by Paris. Charlie Paris, who's going to play soccer for Yale University. Beautiful play by Charlie Paris there. It's going to be a throw in. And it's center ref. Guess there'll be a substitution coming in. Contest. Rory McGonigal.
Come on, Mikey. Come on, Mikey.
And Chavez taking his shot, and that one is behind the net. So we're still at 0-0. Maybe about 20 minutes gone so far in the first half.
Huh? By more than that guy, you got out in the car.
Kovacs driving it upfield. Delgado over to Zavala. Service towards the box interrupted. Corona United looking for a through ball that could be handled there by Sammy Gilbert, but it had too much pace on it. Kovacs has it. And Kovacs will set it down and drive it all the way down toward that 18-yard box. Silva getting it over to Rodas, who settles it out to the outside to Sordia. And, of course, back to David Silva now. Silva over to Rodas. Rodas having a lot of trouble now, and it's going to be an offsides call. So the offsides on Santa Monica, the Scorpions. Scorpions, who won the CDU tournament, an AO Valley tournament. They had 5 shutouts. It was the first time ever that had been done in the CDU tournament. And they were also quarterfinalists in the recent Nomads tournament. But as I mentioned, the scouts liked what they saw. 12 out of their 18 players were locked down to go to some college, further their education, and play some soccer. The throw in. Into the 18-yard box. Another header, getting a subsequent one in the central of that box, but Kovacs has it. And he drives it all the way down. And beautiful opportunity that time by Sordia, but he ran right by it. He settled it, but he couldn't control it because he had ran right by him. His body momentum was going the other way. Here's Zavala, though, as they win it back along with Delgado. Delgado back, the give and go back to Zavala. Zavala on the outside of the 18-yard box. He's double teamed there. They're working well in the space, the defenders of United. And now we have the whistle. And a whistle is going to go against one of those 2 defenders. Zach Metcalf was in there defending. Bahu working hard, though. Did not want the attacker to turn or get a delivery. Now they have an opportunity to do United to set themselves up defensively. Magana, he of the high school variety. The junior in high school variety, that is. Still the senior classman, but he's only a junior. And that one, they just tried to do something with it with Delgado, and he couldn't control it. And so it's sent all the way down, and Kovacs has plenty of time. And he will elect to go on the right side of the offensive attack. Blocked. Settled down for Corona United, and United on a long ball across midfield, and they have the whistle. Offsides.
Remember, this is a championship game. Call it ball twice.
Good, Mikey.
Magana now on it. Magana trying to get a return pass, but Corona United with it. Nico Weissing, and he sends it all the way down to the defensive third, where Kovacs now almost was a little bit too just risky with that ball. I mean, he just tried to, he figured he had more time, and he went to the right, and Sammy Gilbert was right there on the doorstep and nearly took it away from him. McGonigal. Rory, a nice play. Running back the defenders into their own defensive third. And now it's going to be Omar Ciordia going to Cal State LA with the CK here. But there'll be a substitution now. And we'll see who the player is that comes in. It looks like Eddie Delgado's coming off. Ciordia. De La Rosa, and a save is made. De La Rosa into the contest. Nico back in. His alternate number on the other team there, Nico Weissing. The help on that offensive action there, getting it all the way down to Kovacs, and he drives it past midfield. John Meza throwing it in. Sammy Gilbert. Kovacs. 0-0 your score. I mentioned earlier it kind of warmed up a little bit, but it's a kind of a weird type of a deal where the wind gets a kick in from time to time, and then it gets a cloud cover and it cools down. Then it'll come, then the sun will break back out again. It's April. To the outside and out of play, so it'll be a throw-in. Brad Brooks with it over there. Brooks to throw in. Intercepted that time by Nico De La Rosa. Silva. Coming towards it was Zavala, and now we have a whistle. And it's going to be a yellow card. Who's it going to be on? Well, we've got our first warning, and obviously as backing up the Scorpions, so one of their players, the yellow card. And we'll definitely know who it is if he gets another one, because he will be red carded and out of the match. Sammy Gilbert up in the air, and running by there was Zach Metcalf. And now it's Weissing. And now he's got Chavez all alone with the keeper, and Kovacs reaches out. For a second there earlier, you were wondering, you know Kovacs is bright, and earlier when he was making that move as a keeper, he wasn't showing that he was so bright, but that time he showed he was bright again. Reaching out at the last time and robbing Chavez at the last moment. David Silva. McGonigal. Knocked out by Chavez. Or knocked out, actually, that time was knocked out by Hernandez, and Chavez throws it in. But the Scorpions get it back. Zavala with a lot of space going to switch it. But his teammate overran it that time in De La Rosa. But he's still after it. And he gets good support that time. And here they come. All the way into the 18-yard box. On the run, Jose Rodas. And the call goes in against Rodas that time. It'll be a free kick. Pablo Gonzalez will take it out of his own 18-yard box.
I got it now. I can picture it.
Zavala. And we have another yellow card. And this time it's going against Corona United. So it's going to be a quick free kick. They get it started. Number 16, we'll have to get a name for him. We don't have it on the roster here. And Corona United now able to get it out of their own defensive half, and they push it upfield to where now David Silva has to get it back to Kovacs. And now down to Central. Silva with it. Silva, who's undecided on which college he wants to go to. Over to Magana on the Y. Magana's chip, and he just couldn't quite get it inside the near post. He just missed chipping it inside the near post that time, trying to beat Pablo Gonzalez. Definitely a player you have to watch. The junior at Santa Monica High School. And Magana. And here's Chavez. Chavez weaving his way, losing defenders, but now going after it is Silva. But Chavez still on it. Chavez in the corner now. Chavez being guarded that time, and he knocks it out of play. Charlie Paris. Paris using his smarts. He's definitely going to be using a lot of that in the future over at Yale. Good defensive play into space. Knocked out by Kovacs on a shot. Oh, what a save by Kovacs. Who knows? Those two might be going to the same college together, Paris and Kovacs. And now, with it is Essa Bahu. And Bahu able to cut it back and then make the defender kick it out of play on the near side touchline. Paris into Central. But the header right back to Paris. And Paris now going to see if he can get his teammate to overrun the defender, but a nice job that time by Zach Metcalf. However, now getting support is Zavala, and Zavala on the near side, it's knocked out of play. Chris Clements protecting there into space. Knocked out now this time again by Zach Metcalf. Metcalf coming over and intercepting the intended pass. Nice defensive play by Metcalf. The defenders for both teams doing a fine job early. And obviously that's why they're both in the championship here at the State Open Cup for 2008. Got to have good defenders. Magana, and that one's not going to be anywhere near the intended target for him. And so they give up that chance in the attacking third. And Pablo Gonzalez will drop it down and decide which direction he wants to go. Time moving well in this game, but a lot of it's due to the technical play of both of these two teams. Very entertaining to watch. Paris, and then his defender is able to knock it back to Kovacs. Good play that time. They worked well, and Kovacs was there, knew exactly what was going to happen, and drives it down to Central. Metcalf looking for Chavez. He couldn't find him. Now he's up in the air on a 50-50 ball. No call. Down to Central, driving it out to the wide. And that one is knocked out by Brad Brooks. Brooks just ranging back and saying, I'm not going to let anybody get behind me, and not allowing the over-the-top pass. David Silva. Silva with a little bit of space, being harassed by Chavez. On a challenge, he doesn't win it. And so now it gives it away. And staying tough that time was Matias. And it goes all the way back to Paris. Kovacs has it. Of course, at that point, he could not pick it up with his hands. And now going down to the players for Santa Monica. Magana now in the corner. Magana being guarded closely. Magana now still trying to beat a defender. He's stopping and starting. He finds a little bit of a hole, but it doesn't last long as Bahu was there. Nice job as they cut him off. Taken away now. Silva, though. Silva being challenged there in the central and taken away. Paris has to run back now, and Paris is going to overrun him momentarily, but he gets back to it. Nice job by Charlie Paris, the sweeper, and drives it up forward. Down the central, and they had a striker, but he fell down, and their big chance goes awry. Out to down to central, trying to get somebody to run onto it. Being from over the top, and they could not. And so it was won by United, but however they get it back does Santa Monica. Well, Zavala over to his teammate that time, Rodas, and his pass intercepted. Weisig down to Chavez, and Paris intercepts it. A collision that time with Silva. Here's Paris pushing up from the back, but let's see what we got. And it is going to be a foul against Chavez. So it'll be, or rather that was a foul against Paris. So Chavez, I was right. It was a foul against Chavez, and now it's center into the box with Magana, and he couldn't get a second strike at it. Kovacs from his own half of the field. Driving it up, he's got the numbers there in the dark blue and white. McGonigal, and then into a beautiful save by Gonzalez. Oh, he sprawled out to save that one. And it goes off to Essa Bahu. Bahu now down to Chavez, but he didn't receive it as he was marked heavily that time. So now it goes on to the foot of Zavala. Zavala weaving his way down the middle, and it goes wide of the near post. Goal kick. Pablo Gonzalez, who just a few moments ago made a great save to keep it at a 0-0 score as we work our way towards halftime.
It's Isa Bahu.
Okay.
Ask for his mother.
Off the carom. David Silva. Silva trying to go further, could not. Here's Isa Bahu, and it's knocked out by Silva. Correction on the pronunciation of first name of Bahu, it's Isa. And he now is going to throw it in. Looking for Michael Chavez into the corner. Chavez being marked heavily there. Chavez will lose it as it's taken away to Silva. Silva finding Magana. Nice little crossover there that time. But it's taken away to Paris. But here's Magana again. Magana now has a runner on the near side, and Rodas, and a beautiful defensive play by Zach Metcalf. Zach Metcalf in his space coming over to knock it out. But here's Rodas. Rodas over to Silva. Silva now has space, has time. Going to go to the far side to Zavala. Zavala trying to continue on further in an 18-yard box, could not. And Chavez now, he's got his teammate, Alanis. Alanis now could not do anything with it. Could not continue on any further. And a center ref warning one of the Santa Monica players. Doesn't want to give a card, but it can happen. Don't heed the warnings. It's the job of the center ref. Control the game. Going to And when you get to this age, you definitely have to control it and get out of hand. Rodas Magana. Over to Rodas. Rodas Gonzalez up in the air is able to make the save as Nico De La Rosa not able to come down and put another shot in the back of the net. Issa, Bahu, and let's see what we got. We got an offsides call. Left-footed drive. Magana now. Issa Bahu. Rodas. Rodas now gets another strike at it, and he gets support that time by Silva. Silva now to Rodas. And a foul.
That's a perfect 10 guard.
What did you say, Carl? What did you say?
Quickly done by Zavala. Outside. As they switch it to the other side of the field, Eric Hernandez taken away by Kyle Cochran. It goes past the far side touchline. And it'll be a free kick.
Keep your composure, guys. Come on.
Come on, Corona!
Off the header. It worked. Zavala trying to get it, but there was an offsides call. Still 0-0 here in the first half of action between Corona United and Santa Monica Scorpions here in the State Open Cup for 2008 here at John Blanche Memorial Soccer Complex in the city of Temecula, north of San Diego, south of Riverside County, south of Lake Elsinore on that 15 freeway. Area that's grown up tremendously over the last 10, 15 years. Basically almost didn't exist there for a while. It is grown up big time. David Silva. And a collision.
Oh, come on!
And it'll be a free kick. 0-0 in this championship game. Hotly contested by both teams. Kovacs, his own half of the field. Kovacs obviously wearing the protective, probably protecting his nose because that may have been broken at one time. Which goes to show you how dangerous this game can be. Gonzalez up in the air, able to make the save, but coming right down the throat was Paris. If he gave up a rebound, Paris was going to try to put it in the back of the net. However, now, as Paris been pushing up lately, trying to give support, he's got to retreat back the distance now and help out defensively. A nice bicycle kick over to Chavez. Chavez looking for a teammate to come into play, and he does with Weising. Back to Chavez, but he can't hold on to it long as Hernandez takes it away. Kicks it past the outside touchline, far side of the picture. Throw in now for Corona United. On it, Kyle Cochran. Cochran in the corner, and that one is knocked out. It's going to be a CK. Nice attack that time by Cochran. Try to sneak in a back door. The CK, the bending ball. Kovacs able to knock it out of his own box. Nice job, standing tall on his line. Coming back upfield on the counterattack. And the center ref calls the foul, and it's going to be a free kick to the outside now with Paris. Rodas. And it goes out of play. Still 0-0 as we wind toward halftime. We got the sun part of the day coming out again and warmed it up. And as you saw a few minutes ago, got kind of heated up right there in the central. Not unusual when they get, like I mentioned before, from the age about 14 and above. You're going to see that in the world of soccer. But it's a team that's got the mental prowess, the team that's got the ability to keep their heads is going to be the team that's going to be able to pull this one out. Pablo Gonzalez driving it down to midfield. Off the 50-50, DeCarum winning it. Santa Monica United only for a moment. Chavez now, and the tackle and a yellow card is coming. So a free kick is coming up. And now number 16 has to really be careful. Cannot play as aggressively as he might think now, because that would really hurt his ball club. And the defensive side of things, they would then play one player down, and when you lose a defender, that gives the opposite team a great opportunity to put the ball in the back of the net on you. Wholesale substitutions will mention their names as they touch that soccer ball from the far side there, Corona United. The players for both teams are on one side here in the championship, and the fans are on the other. Only in the championship. And a drive as Kovacs made the first rebound and knocked it right to on the doorstep of one of the Corona United attackers, and he drives it not as accurately as he would have liked to. If he could have, he would have got it in the back of the net. It would have been 1-0. But Kovacs, who had kind of committed himself, catches a break here. And, of course, all that whole sequence got started because his defender a little bit too rough on the attacker in the defensive half of the field. Bryce Matias. And Matias has to run back and defend, but getting it first is Rodas, and a save by Gonzalez. Oh, how did he pick that one out? Man. And let's see. Center ref now. As Gonzalez was trying to kick the ball down the field, and it quickly came out of his hands, and center ref giving a warning to one of the players on the Scorpions.
Come on, Shorty!
Can't take it out of the keeper's hands like that. And in certain circumstances, as these guys must get used to the idea that a lot of them are going to be playing in college, you're going to get called that time for a penalty. Kovacs. His team knotted up in a 0-0 score. Both of these teams know how to shut people out, and they've done it throughout the tournament. Up on a 50-50 ball. And on it is Magana. Magana now going to weave his way Magana getting around a defender, and he's tripped up. And will that be a card, or is it just going to be a foul? We're going to find out here in a moment. But either way, it is a foul, and of course they're going to get a free kick. But a card does not come out this time.
Come on, guys!
Now the good set piece try for the Scorpions. Trying to untie this one before halftime. Up in the air. They couldn't get it to the other side. To McGonigal. However, still in the attacking third. Matias now showing his toughness in the back. Quickly over now to Rodas. Rodas again. Rodas weaving his way and then finally takes a shot. But nobody could flick it on that time, Gonzalez. So he was able to handle that one very good. Issa Bahu. Being marked nicely that time by Eric Hernandez, and they take it away and send it upfield. And a whistle. Wind closer and closer towards halftime. Ooh, that double whistle from their own defensive half of the field. And that's the end of the first half of action with the score. Santa Monica Scorpions 0, Corona United 0. Stick with us. You'll be seeing what the coaches are saying to their players. And we'll be right back with the action in the second half. Underway, going from left to right, Santa Monica, the Scorpions, and from right to left is Corona United, 0-0 score. In his championship game here at John Blanche Memorial Soccer Complex. And a drive, no problem for Pablo Gonzalez, who played very, very well. Nicknamed Shorty, and he ain't too short. That's for sure. He has stood tall and made big saves. Here is Paris. Adrian Gallinari. Of course, as you notice, whenever they change sides of the field, the attack changes as far as the players you get to take a look at. And some of the players you didn't get to see in the first half, you're going to get to see this time. And a closer look, and a nice try that time by Rodas. And Rodas, his shot attempt was blocked that time by Zach Metcalf. And the header, and they just missed that time. Up in the air. Magana again.
Let's go, guys. High pressure. Let's
And
go.
a good service that time. Matt Robinson, and then now it's going to be a free kick. David Silva, who's undecided on where he wants to go to college. Coming over to Zabala, who's also undecided for Santa Monica. De La Rosa, who's going to SF State, San Francisco State. De La Rosa now is going to give way to his teammate to throw it in. Chris De La Rosa, who's now ticketed to go to Sonoma State. Throws it in, a very good ball into the central of the box. Just couldn't get anybody to control it. Paris now looking on the near side for Chris De La Rosa. Trying to get a substitution in is Corona United. And is the center ref going to allow it? Let's see, there he is. And we will see the player in just a moment. Teeing it up is Juan Magana. And we'll have to mention that player as he touches the soccer ball and get a good look there. Off the header, into the box, and knocked away as Paris trying for a bid. And good defense that time in the 6-yard box. The defender getting there just in time to knock it out of play. And so now they'll try it from the far side on the CK. The bending ball just couldn't quite get somebody to head it. However, and they get another try, but that one is not going to be accurate at all. 0-0 the score. A couple of players now coming out for Corona United. And they'll have a couple come in and don't have the numbers on their shorts, so it's tough to see exactly what numbers they are until they turn around. And it's Kyle Cochran is into the contest. I believe Chavez was in. And just at the last moment, a bid, big time, by Rodas. Rodas, who will be playing Cal State Dominguez soccer. A bid to try and break the tie and give the lead. But he just couldn't quite do it as the defender was there, marking him well. Both teams have done that very well inside their own 18-yard box. The quickness, Paris. The drive, and this one will be wide of the near post. Gonzalez now gets it started off to the right. Christian Paulin is number 19. And he is going to go to Claremont McKenna College over there in the Claremont Colleges area. San Bernardino County, basically the western end of it. The throw in, Paulin. Into the corner, but getting over there and protecting was Omar Sordia. Sordia, nice play, going to Cal State LA.
Oh, you know what? Is it on the
It is now going to be a corner kick for Corona United. The CK for Corona United, and it's back behind the net. Corona United, head coach by David Weising and Mike Sutherland. Team manager Sam Gilbert. Scorpions, head coaches Lloyd Kinnear. Kovacs. Goal kick. Kovacs driving it down to Central. Net. Nico Weising. On the run, Cochran. On the near side. Zavala. Zavala going in towards the Central, and Matt Robinson. And Matt Robinson is going to have that foul against him, and it'll be a free kick. And they get it started quickly. They don't waste no time. Eric Hernandez all the way to the other side, and Gonzalez comes out off his line and makes the save. Paris, Magana tried to get to it, but it went over his head a little bit too high. Here's Paulin. Paulin on the run from the back. Paulin looking for somebody to run onto it, but that pass over the top had too much pace on it. Too much pace for Jose Rodas to make something happen to it. Pablo Gonzalez with the goal kick. On the near side. Cochran now, and he's got Chavez on the run. Chavez, oh, and a collision that time with Eric Hernandez. And Hernandez, a fair play that time. He gets over there to cut off the opportunity for Chavez to continue on. The throw in now. Issa Bahu. David Silva. Silva now. And trying to get to it. He's still on it. And that is Rodas. Gonzalez able to make the save. And a player for Corona United is down on the field. And we'll take a timeout with the score 0-0 here in the second half in his championship match here at the John Blanche Memorial Soccer Complex. Just want to read something from the Cal South website. Record number of coaching courses available for 2008 in the summertime. The Cal South Coaching Education Department recently announced the opening of over 40 coaching education courses, including several Spanish courses, all now available for application on the calsouth.com website. Conceived through an initiative targeted at allowing coaches in Southern California greater access to educational courses and training, the LA Foundation began its unique partnership with Cal South last year when it bestowed upon Cal South a grant of $80,000 to fund coaching courses throughout the year. The LA 84 Foundation is a nonprofit organization that was formed with a surplus created by the 84 Olympics. This partnership is now extended into 2008 with an even greater variety of courses now available for any coaches interested in expanding their coaching knowledge. And walking off the field for Corona United, being helped off the field is Mike Kinnison, not on his own power, and they're going to have a substitution. And we'll see who that substitution is, and then I'll finish the rest of what is on the Cal South website for coaches. Maybe some of these players might want to be coaches. And can't really see his number, so we'll mention him as he touches that soccer ball. And a header out of the 18-yard box. Into the box now, and Pablo Gonzalez able to make the save. To finish it up, the partnership is now extended to 2008 with an even greater variety of coaches now available for any coaches interested in expanding their coaching knowledge, moving on to the next higher license level, or just getting into this coaching soccer field for the first time. Among these are over 20 youth module courses for recreational coaches, which through a new partnership with the Velocity Sports Performance will be held at Velocity locations throughout Southern California. And we have a foul, and let's see what the center ref decides to do on this one. And it'll be a yellow card. So a yellow card against Santa Monica Scorpions, and now it'll be a free kick. Remember, as I mentioned, both teams had no more than two. Well, actually, it wasn't yellow cards. It was actually red cards that they had in the tournament. Neither have gotten a red card yet, but things are starting to mount up where there may be one before this match is over. And undoubtedly in the world of soccer, you play one down if you get a red card. And a drive that time taken by Bryce Matias, and a little bit too awry of the net to the left. And then, of course, you know, to finish that off, when I was talking about with the coaching courses, it on the website talks about license levels and things like that. So it's just an LA84 foundation just continuing to aid development of quality coaches in the world's most famous sport. Down to Central now with Paulin. Paulin pushing it into the attacking third, but not able to get anybody to run onto it.
Come on, Dad!
0-0, still your score here in the second half. Both teams just jockeying, trying to find out where the weakness is and where they can possibly potentially get a score. If that doesn't happen, we're going to go into overtime. If that doesn't happen, we'll go into penalty kicks. And one way or another, it will be decided. There will be a winner to take the hardware home. Kovacs. As I mentioned earlier in the first half, Santa Monica, the Scorpions, they have a lot of players used to the hardware, and they are going to definitely be fighting all this match to try and take some more home. And a blast up and over the net.
Adding to that 5-1 lead that they had yesterday.
Pablo Gonzalez now.
Yeah,
Pablo going to drive it down to Central. Off the header. And met that time, Brad Brooks involved. David Silva now getting it out to the wide to Rodas. Rodas now can't continue anymore. Good defensive play. Silva now all the way back upfield to De La Rosa. But Chavez is there. Pickpocketed him. Wising. On it now is Zavala. And coming over there to knock it away, Chris Clements. Beautiful defensive play. Momentarily, there were two balls in the field. Paris retreats back and knocks it back to his keeper, Kovacs. Kovacs drops it down. Kovacs drives it down to Central. Looking for a teammate, and he does get a touch on it. However, the two defenders cover well to get the rebound. Nicely done that time. And that ball in the corner and going down is Magana. And let's see what the call is. Not going to be any call, as they don't say Magana was really physically brought down to the ground. Sordia. To the near side now. Corona United there with a blast by Brad Brooks. It winds on the foot of Gilbert. And then his teammate, Issa Bahu, trying to get a good accurate shot, could not. Ball did not settle the way he wanted to on his foot. Kovacs now with a goal kick. 0-0, still your score here. And it's Central. Who of the midfield players is going to win it? Brad Brooks chasing it down to the near side. But Paris is right there. He didn't get to it. So Brooks gets to it first. And it winds on the foot of Chavez. He goes down. And Paulin drives it all the way down the field. Center ref says play on. To the outside. David Silva. Knocked out of play by Corona United. Magana getting it over to Silva. Pass to the interior, the header, and not enough that time on it for Luis Zavala. Luis undecided which college he wants to go to.
Gets on like this, and the people come to me and goes,
On the near side.
he's fixed it, but he's gonna get really excited enough before
Going to be a throw-in. Into the corner. As the defenders get it to Pablo Gonzalez so he can drive it upfield. Try to get a counterattack going. And they've got a runner to the outside. And that is Matias, but Matias having problems controlling it that time as Paulin winning it and sending it all the way down the field, but they were offsides. Offsides that time. David Silva. Still 0-0 in their own half of the field. They will try a counterattack here. Paris has trying to do something with it right there was Nico Weising. And Nico basically wanted a much more of a tougher shot, and he didn't get what he wanted. And he gave it up to Paris, who was able to get it out of danger. However, here is Weising again with a corner kick. Bending ball, trying to get the header, and it's a goal! Goal, 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 goal. Kovacs was trying to make the save, and he had a player there, and he put it in the back of the net. And it's 1-0. Couldn't quite see who scored the goal, and we'll try to get that for you here in a moment. But it's 1-0. Corona United. A scramble right in front of Kovacs, and they're able to beat him. And now Santa Monica, who's not used to losing big games, is going to try and get the equalizer. And that time Magana had more time, but he rushed himself and he shot it over the top of the net.
Good cut off, Chris. Good cut off.
Don't let up, boys. Come on. 0-0.
You're not sure?
I said Brooks.
What's that? You want me to answer?
Go to him. Pressurize that. Come on, let's go. Yeah.
Okay, Brad Brooks, as somebody was able to see that it was him that actually put it in the back of the net. So 1-0, Corona United.
Thank you. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Go, Corona, keep it together.
Yeah. Get those headers.
Go two.
No. Watching you guys.
Jose Rodas, Gonzalez making a save.
Come
Trying to do something there is Gilbert. Gilbert trying to get the next one. Kovacs is away. Oh, and a great play by Paulin, getting back there to help out Kovacs. And another shot, and getting up there is Paulin again. And a nice rush, offensive rush this time by Corona United. Frantic game going on now as both teams racing up and down the field. Sordia to the outside, and that ball's knocked all the way back in the defensive half of Santa Monica. The Scorpions down 1-0. Corona United's Brad Brooks scoring a goal. In a scramble in front of Mr. Alex Kovacs. The ball thrown in, knocked out nicely that time by Zach Metcalf to protect for his ball club. Corona United going to be challenged. Can they hold on and win a 1-0 game in the championship of the boys under 18 State Open Cup 2008? Paulin back to Kovacs. Kovacs has plenty of time going down to Central off the foot of Issa Bahu, and Bahu drives it all the way forward. He was trying to get a touch by Chavez to beat the keeper, but Kovacs off his line quickly. Paulin can't get to it now. Into Central, there's a collision, and let's see what we got. Is it in the box? If it's in the box, it's a penalty shot. If it's outside of the box, it's still going to be a shot, but it'll be tougher. It's going to be just right outside the box. And his center ref didn't like the way that ball was tossed to him. He directs things, and players on both teams who have cards really have to be careful now. The wall set up by Santa Monica, the Scorpions. United trying to give themselves more of a cushion. The shot, and they miss it. Nice try, though, by Zach Metcalf as the wall was set up pretty good. So Kovacs and company now down 1-0 as it heats up here in Temecula. Knocked out that time by Cochran. On the near side, Santa Monica, the Scorpions, Eric Hernandez. He that's going to Cal State Northridge. My sister-in-law went to. And down to Central, has teammates there. Over Paulin to the wide. A little bit too much for him there, and they're able to get back. However, they're still in the box, and they pass it back out. A very technical team, got to use a lot of their technical ability in this game now to try and see if they can get a goal, and Paulin goes down. And what do we have? It's not going to be a card, it's just going to be a foul. It'll be a free kick. The Scorpions now.
Did you really?
Trying to get inside that attacking third. They get a free kick. Down 1-0. Time running out in this ball game. Magana into the box, trying to look for Paris. He couldn't get to it. Now, and then subsequent try again to Paris. He works it out to the line now. They have it settled. Over to Paris, looking for another header. He couldn't quite get it. And they don't get it. And it's pushed up the field. Good defensive action that time. Kovacs comes way off his line and drives it all the way to the corner. Brilliant move by Kovacs. Reduced the size of the field. Magana. But it was too much pace on it. Or actually, they were offsides on that, and so the play doesn't work the way they wanted it to. Or maybe take that back. It was just out of play, so a throw-in. Didn't know whether it's offsides or throw-in. Tough to see from the far side. Play on with Rodas. Rodas now weaving and bobbing and knocks it off. Brad Brooks. Brooks, good defense that time, and the defenders asked to do Herculean efforts here to try to stop Santa Monica from winning the title. But they have to first tie the game up because they are down 1-0. The bending ball, they couldn't get it was a nice try by Magana. He tried to, he went parallel that time to get it in the back of the net. He just missed the soccer ball. To the far side, it'll be a throw-in. Lastly out off the foot of Corona United. Chris De La Rosa. De La Rosa into the box. Paris up high. He's got a teammate there, but he couldn't control it. And they get it, and that was Chavez sending it out of danger. All the way back to Paulin. Paulin drives it up forward. Got a bunch of players, his whole team almost, in the offensive area. Paulin, the man, standing on an island back there. Basically in that last sequence. He comes up to meet it, gets it to Paris, to Kovacs. Kovacs drives it down to Central, looking for control, and they finally get it. Into Central now. They get a runner onto it, and that is Rodas. And back to Rodas. He's all alone with the keeper, and he missed the shot. Oh, boy. Rodas was all alone, and he had beat the keeper, but he missed the shot. Sometimes you start to wonder, is it my day? And that time, Rodas not able to finish. And it's 1-0. Corona United. It was almost like there was somebody there keeping the ball from going in the back of the net. Here's Rodas again. Gonna see if he can have a better try at it this time. To get either a pass or a shot. But he won't be able to do it that time as they dispossess him. Cochran on the near side. And going down. And let's see what the center ref decides to do with this one as Chavez goes down.
Why you laughing?
Free kick now. Kyle Cochran drives it into the 18-yard box. Paris is there. Nice service that time, and they do get a shot. And that time, Kovacs is just watching it go past the goal line, no problem. But Cochran had a very good service into that 18-yard box. Obviously, that helps your team out. When you're in the lead, it helps your team out because it eats time off the clock when they have to play defense. Here's Cochran again, jumping over players. Cochran in the box, looking for Chavez. Has another teammate is blocked by Poland. And the center ref now will give it was an offsides call that time. Up in the air, Zach Metcalf. To the near side, De La Rosa. They switch it, trying to have him run around. Here's Magana. Magana to the far side. Magana still trying to get on it. Magana having problems. And let's see what the call is. It'll be a free kick. Magana couldn't win it that time. And a little bit of extra effort that time on a wide by Corona United keeps them from keeping the ball go behind them into the defensive third. All of those attempts help them to be in a situation to win this game. Here's Paulin. Paulin now to the outside, and he's heavily marked that time by Michael Chavez. And it was kicked out by Chavez, but Paulin couldn't continue any further. He throws it in, though. And then quickly it's won by Weising, who gives it back to Paulin. Paulin drives it forward, looking for a teammate to run onto it, but they won't get it. They won't get it, and it's headed over to Issa Bahu. And Bahu watches it go off the foot of Eric Hernandez. And they pop it over Paris towards the box, but Paulin is there. And Paulin needs to be there to give his team a chance, and he's doing what they needed to do. He has to be careful, too, not to get a yellow card. Otherwise, they'll play one down. Down the central, trying to come with it is Zavala. They tighten up back there toward the 18-yard box, does the blue and white. And a push. Let's see what the call is going to be. It might be a card, and it is going to be a card. And it'll be a free kick. Free kick now. Off the free kick, as both teams mindful of the very high physical play, mindful of what they got to try to do, but also mindful that the clock is running out. And this is a championship game. There are no more tomorrows in this tournament. Let's see what United can do. Started back in early part of this month, trying to win it all. However, Sordia and company intercept Brad Brooks. Brooks, he who scored the goal. Over there getting some refreshment on the near side from the fans. That's what kind of love you get when you put one in the back of the net. Issa Bahu now will throw it in. Bahu on the near side. Bahu looking for his teammate that time, Sammy Gilbert, but Gilbert didn't get to it. However, racing toward the central was Robinson. He got it over to Metcalf. Metcalf upfield over to Matias, but Matias couldn't quite get to it as Paulin came over and dispossessed him, knocked it out of play in the far side touchline, and Paulin is not feeling too good right now, as he laying himself out physically to try to meet that soccer ball and taking a measure of the blunt of the action there. But he's up in the air, tough kid, and heads it down, but it goes right, unfortunately for him, to Kyle Cochran. Cochran in the box. Cochran still there in the box, and it's knocked out. Will it be a CK? It's not. McGonigal. Rory doing a fine job. He's going to go to an Ivy League school, McGonigal. But he doesn't know which one. Way back to Kovacs. Kovacs knows which one he's going to. Well, he doesn't know, but he knows it'll be settled down to one of two, Harvard or Yale. Here is Chavez. Chavez now coming over is Paulin. Nice overlapping defensive duty that time. He's got his teammate, Zavala. Zavala weaving his way. Zavala wants to go down to central, has Paris. Only momentarily as Cochran gets to it. Sends it back upfield. Cochran again in space, has plenty of time. And now he's being pressed for time as it goes out of play. Lastly, knocked out, though, by Santa Monica. Kyle Cochran. I'm going to give it up as his teammate, Issa Bahu, will throw it in. Santa Monica is going to have Juan Magana come out of the game. maybe to save him for the last few minutes. We'll have to see, unless he's hurt. They get a fresh player in the game. And that is Eddie Delgado. Delgado, the one who's still undecided out of the teammates on which college he's going to. And he'd like to decide on the way this game is going to go with the orange cleats. Onto the outside. Nico De La Rosa chasing it down. Couldn't keep it in. Paris will throw it in. We've got moments left in this game. Not a lot of time. 5 minutes or so, maybe less. Kovacs is going to take it, and that's a dangerous thing. Kovac has to race back, but his defenders get there first, and Paulin. Paulin has been tall. Paulin has been strong in this game. He hadn't been perfect, but he's made a great thing for the defenders to try to emulate in the future in any subsequent tournaments. Be tall and strong and get to the play. And that's what he's done. Cochran sending it all the way down toward the 18-yard box. Any goal now here by United would finish this one. It'd be too much to come back from. Chavez to Cochran. It's just too tightly contested of a match. And now a nice chest. He settled it nicely that time. Using his chest there, Nico Weising, and got a decent shot at it. Made the keeper make a save. It eats up time off the clock. Nico De La Rosa, head manning it up. He's got Zavala. Oh, and he couldn't, and then they tried and they missed it on the other side. Oh, and they hold their hands on top of their head, and that, of course, is Delgado. He had more time, and he didn't use that time to put it in the back of the net. Zavala, beautiful run on the near side, but he couldn't connect. And again, it's still 1-0. Pablo Gonzalez, not in a hurry. Going to take all the allotted time. Center ref knows how much time is left, and there's not much of it. Gonzalez down to central. Cochran off the 50-50 ball, trying to win it with the alternate number there. Chris De La Rosa. De La Rosa wins it. De La Rosa's got speed. De La Rosa in the corner. His service is blocked, though, that time by Brad Brooks. Brooks gets there in time in the space. Doesn't let De La Rosa get it. He throws it in now. Off the header. And the center ref says there was a foul. And that foul goes against Santa Monica Scorpions, or Corona United, that was. And the Scorpions now. I don't know why I keep getting that mixed up. It was Corona United that had that foul. As the Scorpions trying to do things here to try to. The game has been so bedazzling. Maybe that's why. As we come down at Central now. Taking it away, Matt Robinson to the outside now. Bryce Matias. Don't get a chance to see the guys of this age play very often. Here's Kovacs. So much speed, so much strength, so much power. And when you see him from ground level, it's a different ball game than what you see on TV. Wish you were here. Kovacs now goes off to his left. Over to Paulin. Paulin now from his own half. Paulin still continuing on, but he was being pressured there by Chavez. Chavez not allowing him to have free reign. And it's helping his team out, and it goes all the way back now, and they've got to bring it back to Kovacs. Those are things they don't want to be doing right now, but United is making them do it. As they have a player down to Central with space. They don't have to score, but they can eat up clock, and that's what they're doing. Into the corner now, and racing it down is Rodas. It goes out of play, and it's time. The precious time is in the favor of the United as they throw it in, just drive it back. They'll drive the defenders back, but they're not worried about trying to score a goal. And Kovacs, barely inside his box, is able to make the save. he would have gave up a kick there, a penalty shot, if he touched it outside of the box. But he made a smart play to get that ball and protect it inside the box and didn't corral it. Again, Chavez and company continuing to pressure in their own defensive half of the field, not allowing them a free rein to go down the field. But here they go with a counter. Brooks is there. He didn't get all of it, and now wants to chase it down, but he won't get to it. So throwing it in is Zavala. Zavala in the corner. He's got his teammate. There's Paris, and now try that time by Delgado. They still have it in the attacking third, but they can't bring it down as Weissing drives it all the way back to the defensive half of Santa Monica. Still continuing to play hard is that man back there, Christian Paulin. Hearing a few minutes left to go. Do they have enough to try and tie it up? It's going to be a throw-in. United trying to pull everything they have to stop this talented Santa Monica team. They have been doing it in this game. Chavez now on the run with Paris on his back. Chavez still has it. Chavez now to the central, and he gets a pass and a return into the box. Takes his time. Very smart play. Takes it over in the corner. Eats up clock, and it's knocked out of play. Somebody taught Chavez right, and he knows what to do late in the game when he has a lead. Issa Bahu going to throw it in. Bahu into the box. Trying to find a teammate, but it doesn't happen that way. But that whole sequence was eating up the clock, and Brooks beats on-rushing Zavala, sends it wide. He has it over to Matias. Matias dispossessed by Paulin. Here goes Paulin now. Paulin pushing way up from the back. Paulin now. Can't get it away as Issa Bahu takes it into space and knocks it away. Still 1-0. Very little moments left in this game. Bahu comes out. Gets a hug by his coach. And Delgado now in the corner. Shielding Delgado, nobody there. It's knocked out. He wanted to get it to a teammate on that near side. Couldn't do it. Knocked out, so they get to settle back in the box and protect their goal and their keeper, Pablo Gonzalez, into the box. Paris got a touch on it, but it's Chavez again. And a beautiful over-the-shoulder kick back into the defensive half by Sammy Gilbert to the wide side. Chasing it down as Chris De La Rosa gets it in. Into the corner. How many opportunities do they have left? Not many. Paris drives it and he just missed it. Oh, he tried a bit on the low side and he was just a little bit off. If he would have been a little bit more accurate, it would have been a tie game because there's no way Gonzalez could have got to that one. And it's still 1-0. I mentioned earlier, maybe about 20 minutes ago, sometimes it just isn't going to be your day. And that's exactly what happens. The problem with playing a championship one game only match is sometimes, as I mentioned, it doesn't go your way. When you play the best 4 of 7, usually the better team wins. And today, during this time frame, it was Corona United winning the championship. An unbelievable match. You don't usually see the under-18s on George Landman Video Sports Productions, number one on video side, or a play-by-play action. And we're just honored to be able to do this today. The State Open Cup 2008. Definitely the white and dark blue had designs on that. But Corona United in light blue said, this is my year. And we're gonna win this title. Undoubtedly, the two teams will see each other again. We hope you've enjoyed all the action here from John Blanche Memorial Soccer Complex. The Olay from Corona United. Stick around, we'll be right back with some words from the Olayers. Greg Porter back here at the John Blanche Memorial Soccer Complex. Obviously, it's pretty easy to tell in the video that this is not a time that these young men are really happy about, but they played a great match. Anybody want to, Mr. Paris, going to Yale, you want to say anything about your future? Just what you guys look forward to, you know, as knowing each other, and maybe any matches that you might be playing in the future together. I know this is a tough time.
I know that my future soccer career comes from this team. I've learned so much, and this team, we got unlucky today, but these are the guys I'd love to play with any day of the week. I would take all of these guys over that team because we're all friends. We all play together, and we play well. It's unlucky we didn't get one today.
Very best to you. You're going to, which one is it, Yale?
Yeah.
Okay, very best to you playing Ivy League soccer, all right? There's a reason why what you're getting ready to hear is going to happen, as we mentioned at the beginning of the telecast, and tell us why.
Our goalie passed away in a car crash, so we dedicated this tournament to him, Andrew Sikora, and the boys did well.
Yeah.
They came together nicely. Our manager made armbands for everybody, manager Pablo De La Rosa. The boys wore the bands in honor of our friend. So in all the games, he was with us on the field. Whether he was not here, he was here in spirit with us, and we felt him. And his best friend over here, Christian, we dedicated it to him. And he's go to the same school. They went to the same school. They used to ride back and forth together to practices. And we made Christian captain for this tournament, and he led us in a great way. It's one of those days we had 10 chances, they had 1, and that's the way soccer is. It's fickle at the top. You have to put your chances away. On any given day, it wouldn't be a fair result, because we're that technical, we're that good, we're that tactical. As you can see, even on bad field like this, Ronaldinho can show up. Cristiano Ronaldo, the ball would let them down, not their skills, and that's one of those things. Christian, would you like to say something on behalf of your friend?
Nope, I'm okay.
It's okay.
Well, I'll tell you what, Christian, you and your teammates, and we'll conclude with this because I know it's a tough time with you guys. You guys just stood tall. You guys were tough. You guys were physical, and you guys were very, very tactical. Some of the best soccer I've ever seen. And I know your deceased friend helped you guys from getting hurt in this game. Seriously, anybody getting hurt or throughout this tournament. So he was with you, and he'll always be with you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a good day. Appreciate the referees, the staff. It was a very well-run tournament. Both teams, just give them a hand for what they did. Both sets of parents, very nice job today. We're here for the kids. You've all had your glory days, and you supported your kids nicely. There was nothing that stood out that was bad, and you know we have to respect each other in that way. So well done. Let's give the parents a hand. I'd like to thank the boys for a great game. Last year we lost to the eventual state champions. We lost 4-0 to them. We lost 3-0 to them. We played them a little earlier in the season. We got our revenge. We spanked them like red-headed stepchildren, 6-0. I'd like another shot at the title. When you get a chance, we'll have some fun. Come to Santa Monica. We'll treat you to some dinner. And we'll play at a nice, beautiful AstroTurf at the Santa Monica airport. Give them a hand, boys. I'd like to thank my manager for sorting everything out this weekend, hotels and everything, and appreciate the kids traveling back and forth and giving up their weekend for us, for everybody. Let me call the players up. What is right over here? Before we hand it out, I'd like to thank the teams for taking a moment of silence for our goalie that died in a car crash. And I'd like Christian to come up here and help us hand out these medals on behalf of his friend.
Take care of this. Great game,
For those of you that don't know, we dedicated this tournament to our fallen brother, our goalkeeper, who was 17 years old, who tragically died in a car accident a month ago. And we dedicated this tournament to him. We're a little sorry that we couldn't bring him home the main trophy, but we are still gonna take this trophy that we got today and we're going to present it to his parents, given that Andrew is not with us. He was their only son, and it's just a tragic situation, but we just I want to thank my boys, first of all, for the great effort that they gave. And for Corona United, you guys were, exceptional. You took advantage of the situation, and you came out on top. But I just want people to know that, love your kids and cherish them, because we have them today, and tomorrow they may be gone.
I think you honored him well today.
Absolutely.
Alex Kovac.
I'd like to thank Alex on a personal level. He stepped in for us when we didn't have a goalie, and he gave up his weekend for us. Thank you very much, Alex. My 6'4" big monster at the back going to Yale, Big Cheese, Charlie! For you guys, when you were listening to your coach, you kept saying, quit kicking it to the big kid. This would be him over here. Not him, somebody else. Magana, who's playing under 18, has only just turned 16, like 3 months ago. Not too shabby. I have a player that's going to the Guatemala national team in 2 weeks' time. He'll be training with them for 3 months. Kaku. Coach was impressed with you. Good luck in your futures. I'd like to give one to my manager. Excellent job, manager. Well done, Pablo. Give one to Christian. I'd like to give one to Christian.
Our captain, Christian Poland. To our coach, Lloyd Kinnear, for all his hard work.
Thanks, Larry.
Mr. and Mrs. Sakura, on behalf of Santa Monica Scorpions, we want to dedicate this trophy to you and to Andrew Sakura in his memory and in his honor. I hope that you will cherish this as much as we do. And this is our way of saying to Andrew that we know he's up there and he's looking down upon us, and we just want to let him know that his memory will last with us long after this tournament and long after we stop playing soccer. So I hope that you will accept this trophy on Andrew's behalf, and this trophy is been worked for by the efforts of all these boys, and I just want to hope that you're strong in the future.
There's only one Andrew. There's only one Andrew. There's only one Andrew.